rather than staying true to their manifesto pledge.
Absolutely right.
Which says we will use every tool to target perpetrators. Yet Labour are turning their back, you can hear it, once again, with the leader of this House calling it dog whistle politics on national radio. So why won't this minister and her front bench commit to deliver a proper national
politician?
Politicians making promises they don't keep. I know, hold on to your teacups, Britain. Next, I reveal that water is wet in London weather is unpredictable. But seriously folks, welcome back to UK Tribune, where we slice through political nonsense faster than a knife through warm butter. I'm your host, bringing you the political tea that's too hot for mainstream media to handle. Today we're diving into a Westminster drama so thick you could spread it on toast. Labour MPs facing accusations of selective protection, a Prime Minister redefining gang violence as a far-right issue, and the House of Commons erupting like Mount Vesuvius after a particularly spicy curry. Buckle up. So what happens when the party that promised change starts looking suspiciously like the one they replaced? Let's find out. Labour swept into power on a wave of promises transparency, integrity, and putting the British people first. Remember those campaign speeches? The heartfelt pledges? The we're not like the other guys routine? Well, it seems the script has flipped faster than a parliamentary vote during free lunch hour. Let's start with Jess Phillips and her Labour colleagues, who are facing some rather awkward questions about who exactly they are fighting for. In a shocking turn of events that absolutely nobody could have predicted, politicians appear to be protecting their own interests. Returns to normal voice. The accusation flying around Westminster suggests that Labour MPs with Jess Phillips front and centre have created quite the cosy little circle of self-protection, while the manifesto promises gather dust faster than my grand China cabinet. What we're seeing is a masterclass in selective memory. Sorry, was that a promise? I don't recall making that. Must have been the wind. Or perhaps a Tory in disguise. Here's the thing when you run on a platform of, we'll be different. The bar is set rather high. Yet somehow, Labour has managed to limbo under it with remarkable flexibility. They've gone from for the many, not the few, to for us, not you faster than you can say electoral mandate. Let's be clear, protecting your colleagues isn't inherently evil. We all do it. But when you specifically promise to prioritize the British public's interests over political games, well, that's when eyebrows raise higher than energy bills. The pattern is becoming clearer than a politician's ambition. When criticism comes knocking, the defensive shields go up faster than a Downing Street security detail. Meanwhile, the British people are left wondering if their concern got lost in the ministerial post. But don't worry, folks. While Labour might be busy protecting their own, they found time to redefine our national problems in ways that would make George Orwell reach for his typewriter. This just in. Gangs are now a far-right issue, according to our Prime Minister. Up next, is gravity actually a liberal conspiracy? You know things are getting spicy when the House of Commons transforms from a distinguished democratic institution into what essentially resembles my local pub at closing time. The PM's recent classification of gang violence as primarily a far-right issue didn't just raise eyebrows, it catapulted them into orbit. Let's break this down. Gang violence, a complex social issue with roots in poverty, inequality, lack of opportunity, and numerous other factors, has now been neatly packaged into a political label. It's like trying to fit an elephant into a Mini Cooper. It might make for a great circus act, but practically speaking, it's nonsense. The House of Commons reaction was about as calm and measured as a toddler who's been told it's bedtime. Eruptions of protest, points of order flying across the chamber like paper airplanes, and the Speaker probably contemplating career change to something less stressful like bomb disposal. What's particularly fascinating is how quickly complex social problems become convenient political footballs. Gang violence affects communities across political divides, across racial and economic boundaries. But why address it comprehensively when you can score political points instead? And now, let's take a moment to consider what's actually happening beneath all this political theater. The real issue here isn't just about broken promises or questionable classifications. It's about a pattern that's becoming depressingly familiar regardless of which party holds the keys to number 10. We've created a political system where protecting your team trumps protecting your constituents, where labeling problems is easier than solving them, where the House of Commons becomes a stage for political performance art rather than thoughtful governance. The British people aren't naive. They understand politics is messy, but they do expect a modicum of consistency between what's promised and what's delivered. They expect their concerns to matter more than party loyalty. And increasingly, they're wondering if anyone in Westminster is actually listening. When Labour MPs circle the wagons around their own while leaving manifesto promises out in the cold, it erodes trust. When complex social issues are reduced to simplistic political labels, it prevents real solutions. And when the House of Commons erupts in partisan fury rather than engaging in substantive debate, it's democracy itself that suffers. Look, we can laugh about the predictability of political hypocrisy, and trust me, we will continue to do so, but there's something more important at stake here. The gap between promises and action isn't just disappointing, it's dangerous. It feeds disillusionment. It breeds cynicism. And ultimately, it weakens the democratic foundations that we all rely on. Labour has an opportunity, as all governments do, to prove the skeptics wrong. To demonstrate that protecting the British people matters more than protecting political careers. To show that complex problems deserve nuanced solutions, not convenient labels. But until then, we here at UK Tribune will continue calling it like we see it, with just enough sarcasm to make the bitter pills of political reality a bit easier to swallow. Think I've got it wrong? Believe I've hit the nail on the head? Either way, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comment below, and let's get a proper debate going, one that's more productive than what we're seeing in Westminster. Hit that subscribe button if you want political coverage that doesn't pull punches. Smash the like button if you're as frustrated as I am. And click the notification bell to never miss out when political promises perform their disappearing acts. Remember, folks, they work for us, not the other way around. This is UK Tribune, keeping the powerful uncomfortable and the rest of us informed. See you next time.